Hey, this is Matt from Cage Elephant, and you're listening to Recess with Spinelli.
Until we close our eyes for good.
Alexander Calder Spinelli here of Recess with Spinelli, WSPN 91.1 FM Skidmore Radio out of Saratoga Springs, New York. And today we are here with Matt Shultz, frontman for Cage the Elephant. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So your album Melophobia, which was released last year, stands apart from your two previous works, and that it's something that represents your band more faithfully, right?
I think that the first two efforts represented us just as faithfully in those particular times, but with each record, hopefully it's kind of like peeling back the skin of an onion. You know, you make greater strides against fear that blocks the creative process.
Now, the Melophobia is fear of music, but what you guys were going for is a fear of writing music? The
actual definition is a fear of music, but for us it's not so much a fear of music as it is a fear of creating music to project false premeditated images of self. So these elitist titles that separate the few from many, like artistic or intellectual or poetic or, God forbid, genius. And I don't know, our personal opinion is that art for art's sake kind of destroys art, because its sole purpose is to communicate, not to be artists.
Now, in the past you stated that for the album you wanted it to kind of come off, or the writing process, you wanted to come off the same way as if you were illustrating the vision of a childhood friend just from memory. What exactly does that mean?
I stopped trying to be so directly influenced by exterior influences. So I stopped listening to a lot of modern popular music and musical recordings almost altogether, because I didn't want to be cross-referencing sounds and, trying to go for a Harrison tone or these kinds of things. We wanted to create this sonicascape by feel and memory and things that we were trying to express, rather than it being aesthetic heavy.
And do you feel you achieved that?
I think we've made the greatest strides in that direction that we ever have. So hopefully we'll continue to do so. The next step, I think, is to be more intentional.
Now, another topic that seems to come up a lot when you're discussing the album is a fear of loneliness when you're writing it. So I guess what was happening that made that topic so prevalent at the time?
Being alone. No, we had toured for 5 years straight, and it was the first time we'd had any time off in 5 years. And we spent a whole year at home. It was the first time I'd ever had my own place. And I don't know, I think it's just kind of that feeling of imminent doom, where no matter how well things are going, you always feel like the next major blow is right around the corner.
So also with this album, it did take you guys considerably longer to write and record it. So does that go into being intentional at all? Or I guess, why did you guys sit down and actually take so much longer? Because it was only a few weeks for the previous albums, right? Whereas this one was several months?
Yeah, it was about intentionality, just trying to make sure that every detail was cohesive and had a purpose and fit together. And some of our favorite albums have been written, in very short period of times, and then some of our other favorite albums had been written over a long period of time. And so for us, we just wanted to try and see what it would be like to write, deconstruct the songs, look at all the work, the moving parts, and then reassemble it and see if we couldn't make it better. It turned out to be a really great process for us, so something we hope to continue to expand upon.
Now, I also read that the song Come a Little Closer was almost cut from the album. Was it a surprise that became so successful after?
Yeah. Well, when we first wrote it, we were all very initially excited. The chorus had a really great feel. The melodies were working really well, but the verses were kind of sounding like polka. when we first wrote the song, and we were trying to figure out how to make that work, and so we crooned it out, smoothed it out, and it worked pretty well.
Regarding the band as a whole, you guys are all from the same high school, right?
I guess, yeah, we all are, yeah.
How does performing with people you've known most of your life and your brother, I guess, influence the band as a whole? How does it make the band what it is?
Hopefully it will give us longevity. Just that we've known each other for so long, you can get over some of the small little fights you might get in, or disagreements, or and I mean, we've gotten kind of to the point to where we can finish each other's sentences, and I guess if it exists musical sentences, you know, you can start an idea and someone knows where you're headed. It's really nice that it's like that.
You've been listening to Recess with Spinelli, WSPN 91.1 FM, Skidmore Radio out of Saratoga Springs, New York. And today we have been speaking with Matt Shultz of the band Cage the Elephant.